In this video, we're going to talk about what I call the 5 areas of resistance or being swiped, which keep us stuck, which keep us procrastinating and feeling lazy and unmotivated. And no amount of just do it or power through can create that feeling of ease and joy that, let's face it, all of us would like to be feeling. My name's Jenny Clift. I'm an EFT breakthrough coach. I'm also a violinist and an author of 2 books. And I know all about being stuck. I've been stuck so many times and have therefore found tools and techniques for myself and for my clients to help me to get unstuck. As I work with people, I develop this system of what I call being swiped, and it's helpful to understand and therefore clear and heal all the resistance, all the stuff getting in the way of you moving forward. One of the times when I think I was the most stuck in my life and wasn't even aware of it was back in music college. So we're talking 40 years ago. I had a music teacher, violin teacher, who, let's just say, we were not a good fit. And week after week, I wouldn't have done the 8 hours of boring exercises that he asked me to do, even though I was really motivated. I wanted to play the violin. I wanted to make this my career. And eventually I did, by the way. But in that moment, I would go to those lessons and he was so frustrated with me. He would just say, just get on with it. Every week, I remember, get on with it. And I would go out thinking, oh, yeah, he's right. And then I wouldn't. If I'd known then what I know now about resistance, and especially about how to clear resistance, and in this video I'll explain how we use EFT tapping for that, things might have been very different. So before we start the video, I just want to show you a worksheet that I've created. It's a 9-page PDF. I call it Get Unstuck, Get Results. And this explains this whole method. It talks about procrastination, why we're stuck, and then explains the SWIP'D method. And it's also got journaling questions for you and space to write your answers on there, so you can really start to understand and clarify where your resistance is coming from. So pause the video if you want, download that for free below, and then join me back and I will talk you through this. So I call it SWIP'D. This is obviously an acronym, and the first letter, S, stands for safety. Now, safety is a tricky thing. A part of us, especially that part of our brain, it's here in the back, the amygdala or the lizard brain, is wired for safety. That's its job, to keep us alive, to keep us surviving, to keep us safe. And when it's threatened, and none of this is on a particularly rational level. In fact, when we're in the lizard brain, we have very little access to our frontal lobe, that part when we can make decisions, when we can make smart choices. When it's activated, pretty much anything that anyone says to you, you're going to feel that pushback on. Feeling unsafe is very often connected to other people. That fear of what other people are going to think of us, being judged or criticized or somehow getting into trouble. It can also be about loss and failure, and it can trigger deep wounds from the past. It has roots in past traumas, in family circumstances, in times when we either weren't safe or we perceived things as being unsafe. So this first area, safety, what I suggest you do with tapping is uncover the sensations, the feelings in your body. So when you think about something you want to do, and maybe you think, oh, what will people think? Where do you feel that? Is that in your chest? Is it in your stomach? Is it a tightening? What is going on for you? And that's where we can direct the EFT tapping in that moment. So, and remember, as we tap, we're bringing down cortisol, we're bringing down a stress hormone, and we're sending a message to our body and our brain that right now we're safe. Okay, so you could start by saying, even though I feel all this fear in my gut, I love and accept myself completely. Even though it doesn't feel safe, I love and honor myself completely. Even though I'm so afraid that other people will criticize me or reject me or hurt me in some way, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And then we can go round the points, just noticing the sensations, all this fear I'm feeling. I really don't want to do this. And the thoughts, what are they going to think of me? Maybe I'll get negative comments. Maybe someone will hurt me. Our brain is wired, as we said, to protect us. And so if we don't do the things, although of course on one level we're going to be hurting ourselves because it's something we want to do, but on another level, on that survival level, it feels like the necessary thing to do. So the second letter, W, stands for willingness. Now this refers to our fears of how hard and or disruptive to our lives it's going to be. So imagine you're saying, I want a new website, for example, and already our brain kicks in with, oh, it's so many things to do. It's going to be so hard and expensive, and I just won't have time, and I'm already struggling, I'm already exhausted. Ugh, it's too much. I don't want to do it. And we create all this resistance in our body, in our mind, at what the future is going to look like. And we remember times in our past which were exhausting, when we got burnt out. There may have been something that you did, whether you achieved it or not, hardly counts. It's looking back and saying, yeah, okay, I did it, but it was exhausting and I don't want to go there again. So here for the tapping, I would again address these different thoughts and feelings. So even though it's going to be so hard, I love and accept myself completely. Even though I don't know if I'll be able to handle it, I love and honor myself completely. Even though it's going to be so hard, I don't know if it's worth all the effort. It's something I want, but it's going to be so difficult. And even though it's going to be so hard, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And then go around the points, acknowledging the feelings. Oh, I just don't know how it's going to be. I get so exhausted and tired. And I'll never see my friends and my family. And I don't even know if it'll work. So I don't know if it's worth it. So acknowledging all these things that come up for us. And what you might find as you tap is that the thoughts start to flow. And don't be afraid of any of your thoughts. One thing with EFT tapping is that we do look squarely at the negative. Not because we're enjoying the doom and gloom, absolutely not, but it's because these are the thoughts that are kind of bubbling around under the surface and creating this resistance. So just by looking at them fairly and squarely, I like to think of the quote from Mr. Rogers, the American children's TV presenter. He said, anything mentionable is manageable. So allow your thoughts to be mentioned, and that way we can manage them. Okay, so that was willingness. And I, the next letter, stands for identity. Now, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a procrastinator? Do you see yourself as a success or a failure? Do you have a touch of imposter syndrome? All of these labels that we give ourselves, perhaps we were given them in the past, but now it's us saying it to ourselves. They really stop us in our tracks. I remember, once again, back to my career as a violinist, and I talk about this a lot because it was before I had all these tools and techniques. I really struggled to call myself a professional violinist. I'd been through music college. I actually did complete the diploma, and I was working as a violinist, earning money, but to call myself a professional violinist, it was just impossible. So we limit ourselves with the kind of labels that we give ourselves. And one thing I like to do, use these 4 magic words. I used to be. Okay? So instead of I'm a procrastinator, I used to be a procrastinator. I'm no good at, I used to be no good at. This is going to shift your thinking into future possibilities, okay? We put it firmly into the past and say, okay, up until 2 minutes ago, that's who I was, but I choose to be someone different right now. And we can absolutely use tapping on those kind of identities, and especially on the memories that we have of where these identities were fostered and where they came from. Next letter. P is for possibility, or very often impossibility. If you think about something you want, on a scale of 1 to 10, how impossible does it feel right now? If that number is high, you've got a lot of resistance on the possibility category. And again, we learn these. I like to think of our programming, if you like, as we're growing up, as our belief system, or our BS, as I like to call it. And each person, every single person on the planet, has a different belief system, because they were showed different things, they learned different things. They, even if you have a twin sister, an identical twin sister or brother, I do, and I know this, you're still really different. You process things differently. So possibility, if you say things like, oh, I can't do that, or it's never going to happen for me, those kind of words, they really get in the way. Again, tap on that. Even though a part of me believes it'll never happen for me, I love and accept myself completely. Even though I have all this resistance, I love and honor myself completely. Really go in there, feel how it feels. See how much you can clear with this tapping. D, the final letter, is for deservingness. Now, a lot of people have resistance to saying, I don't deserve. It's a funny old concept, isn't it? Some people are okay with it. Others say, oh, that's not my problem. But if you find yourself doing things like undercharging, or being excessively apologetic, or not asking for help, or not even offering what you have to offer, all of these are very deep rooted in what I am, who I am, is not valuable or is not wanted in the world. And that is a very sad feeling when we get to feeling it and examining it. So getting to the roots of that, you know, and one thing which helps, I think can be helpful, is if you use the word a part of me. So a part of me doesn't feel deserving. A part of me doesn't feel that I'm worthy of success. Then that can really help, because it's not the whole of you. We definitely have mixed feelings. We have mixed beliefs all going on inside of us. So I hope this has been interesting. Don't forget to, if you haven't already, download the worksheet, work through that, and please comment below which of these do you think affect you or attack you, and how you tap and what different kind of things you can do to help you to move past through this. The fact of the matter is, as we clear resistance, you get to a moment when suddenly it's like the wall's gone and okay, now I can move forward. And I'm not saying it's, oh, what was that all about? Because you feel that very strongly, but suddenly it's a sense of ease. And this is a great place to be in. So hopefully you found this helpful. Let me know below how you get on. And check out this video. This is going to be a confidence booster, so you can move forward feeling really good about yourself. Okay, happy tapping, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.